Hey, did you see the good news? They moved duck season opener.
To 1.
It's not on Callie's birthday in the Western Zone anymore. It's the weekend after her birthday.
Lucky
There you
man, lucky
fucking go.
man.
So yeah, they bumped it a week later in the season for us, and I think it's actually going to work out fucking wicked.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Sure
It'll
thing.
overlap a little less with deer season and a little better with duck season. So I'm kind of excited about it.
I got a couple spots this year to try up here by me. My sister's boyfriend there, he's been going a lot, but he's getting, I mean, like every species you can imagine, he's been shooting, and it's all out of the same 2 or 3. I don't even know how to describe them. They're like swamps next to power lines, basically.
Hell yeah.
I think I've
As long as you're
scarred
not-
Woody and
As long
Heather.
as you're not shooting the power line off, then
That's my practice shot every time.
I think I scared Woody and Headers out of swamp hunting.
I'm not scared. I'm not going in that hellacious swell hole that we had to like lay on the kayak and push through the mud. That's not happening again.
That's like 95% of hunting.
Oh no, this was bad even by I knew what I was getting into standard, and I didn't really know what I was getting into. I've just been in it before.
It was rough. I decided that if I had to go back for headers, then I'd be leaving shooter there and not coming back for him because I didn't think I could make it out and back another time. So I told him to go, and then I stood there for I don't know how long, just taking turns yanking one leg, then the other out of the muck,
45
almost knee
minutes.
high. Yeah,
Jeez. Where was that?
because
at?
I was gonna get permanently stuck.
Hemlock Lake.
Hemlock Lake. Where's Hemlock Lake?
It's over towards like Springwater area, out
Yeah.
towards Headers,
Just north of Headers.
Rochester area.
God. Yeah, I don't miss that.
We're not spot burning because if somebody wants to go there, go for it.
Yeah.
It's a terrible
Fuck you,
idea.
have fun.
It's a terrible idea.
You want to struggle? Maybe get a couple ducks. There you go.
We were
Not even.
It was a 3/4 mile from where we put in to where we set up. Serby, it was so bad on the way back, I walked the 3/4 of a mile through the swamp back rather than fucking with the kayak. I just dragged the kayak.
God.
No, you guys.
And we had to shuttle. We had to shuttle Headers because we had bought him waders as a birthday gift.
Yeah.
But he hadn't tried them on. They showed up and we brought them to him. And he tried them the night before and they were too small. Like the sizing was confusing.
Amazon
on
fucked us.
the chart. So he's just wearing like calf high boots.
Classy.
So he couldn't. He had to sit on the edge of the kayak while we were hunting, and he had to sit in the kayak when we went back. So I had to like hang off the back and keep pushing the kayak.
So you should have brought out some Crocs, put them in the sport mode, dude, and just walked it.
I don't know, man. He's taller than me, but it was over my testicles, and I wouldn't have wanted to be in that water much longer.
Nah. Was it just cold or was it just gnarly, like nasty?
Oh no, it was both swamp water and it was ice cold. It was the water that we splashed on the kayak froze.
Oh yeah.
There was a sheet of ice like where we had put in. Like it had iced over while we were out sitting. We were breaking ice on the way back in.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Man. That's some, dedication at least. God damn.
And all we saw were a couple wood ducks that were already on the water, way too far away for us to even.
There was those.
I can only tell they were wood ducks with like. Were they cinnamons?
Yeah, there were some cinnamon divers that were way the hell out there.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
They wanted no part of us.
Yeah. And a bunch of sky rats.
Yeah. Fucking seagulls. God damn fucking seagulls.
My phone cut out and I didn't hear anything for a couple seconds and it just pops back to fucking seagulls. I was like, all right, fair enough. We were talking about it.
Oh, you
That
pop
was
back
the only
in
other
the
thing
right
we
part.
saw.
Yeah. Hey, shoot
That
what you
was the only
got.
other thing we saw was a bunch of sky rats.
They'd eat. They just wouldn't taste that great. But
Fuck
Yeah.
that. Isn't it still protected? You can't shoot them
I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
by some fucking absolute just joke of life. Those things are somehow protected.
There's 90 million of them.
Yeah. And they fucking eat everything and live everywhere.
exactly. That's why they're protected. They're scavengers. They eat all our garbage. They're trash.
That's true. They keep parking lots cleaner.
Exactly. Trashy
Yeah.
sky rats, man.
That's very true. McDonald's wouldn't be the same without a couple sky rats hanging around.
Exactly. I wouldn't even go, honestly. They kind of make it for me.
Oh, Sean, you'll appreciate this. I finally bit the bullet and bought the last couple parts to finish out that 9mm AR build.
Oh, sweet. Did you remember where you put that rod I gave you to finish the forend?
No,
Boy.
I don't remember that.
You lost where you put that.
I'll find it eventually. I gotta pull it back apart though, because remember I said I don't need a dust cover on this one. It's like I don't care. Well, I decided I bought a dust cover that says 9mm on it that I liked, like a impulse buy move.
Yeah. So now you gotta take the
It's like-
handguard off and the fucking barrel
Yeah,
nut.
I gotta take the barrel off. Yeah,
You know,
so
it's one of those fucking designs, man. You wish they'd have just thought that one through.
on the bright side, I can clock it so that the muzzle brake looks not twisted.
By your standard or my standard?
Mine, eyeball it. Just eyeballing it. But no, it looks pretty good. Got the bolt carrier group, and I threw a Romeo and Juliet SIG combo on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's the Romeo compact red dot and the Juliet
The
micro
3X.
compact 3X magnifier. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it looks sweet. I like it.
Yeah,
I
but
think
Serby
that'll be a nice for a 9mm. You know, it's not like you're reaching out for anything.
yeah.
That 3X will be nice when you want to screw around, try and plink a gong at 100 or something. Aim high, aim super high.
Yeah, you'll have some fun with that.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice.
I got a
Now I
wild.
just gotta test
ahead.
shoot it and make sure the buffer tube's okay. That'll be the last thing that we won't know until we shoot it.
Did you buy the adapter yet, or do you still need an adapter for magazines?
No, I got the magwell adapter.
So I think you're all set.
Yeah,
Hot
should
damn.
be. It actually that ended up being a pretty cheap build too. With optics, I think it's still
Sub 1K.
oh Dustin, yeah, 800 and some.
Nice.
Which I'll throw up that one. I'm probably gonna throw a light and like a bipod or something on there
Oh, there we go. I've returned.
There he is.
for funsies. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. My service is, pretty junk here.
Is it?
Yeah, you also got to keep your phone awake, or else that's when you lose the audio and stuff.
I wonder if that's what's happening too.
See, mine just stays awake, but maybe it's because I'm the host.
I
Yeah.
joined right through my computer now, so I can use my my good microphone.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. My little handheld computer.
Yeah.
Does it sound clear? Is my voice clear and everything?
Yeah, you
Yeah, it's
sound
not
fine.
bad.
Oh, nice. Excellent. It's better than I thought it'd be. Oh,
Yeah, and it'll sound a little different through post. Like when you actually hear it
Yeah.
on an episode, it'll sound a little different. It'll catch you off guard.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll hear yourself talk, be like, "Why is my voice so squeaky?"
Oh man, I don't like my voice in general. Hearing my voice.
I don't like mine either. I did that episode of Citizen with Dan Holloway, That's like that's Tetherball Media. It's the Drinking Bros guys.
Yep.
And I did that episode with him, and I listened back, and I'm like, oh my god, is my voice really that nasty? Just sounds so nasally. It is what it is. Oh well, right?
Yeah, it's just different.
Can't change it. I mean, I can talk like this, but it's not. It's not sustainable.
Exactly.
I'm
Not
gonna
for
get
that
drunk
long
and
anyways.
I'm gonna get drunk and forget, and then it'll be even more shocking to people. Be like, dude, what happened?
You
I
started the
forgot.
you started the
forgot.
episode of bass and you ended a soprano. Things got weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
So me and Serby and Cheers are talking about trying to get together a small game hunt sometime this year.
Ooh,
yes, sir. I'm
small
looking
game
forward to
for
it.
what? What are we hunting?
We're gonna go. Well, there's a couple places by me. Harnishes Outdoors, and where is it? I think it's Gloversville. Every year they hold 5 or 6 little contests, and it's always for squirrel and rabbit. And sometimes they'll combine the hunts, and it's basically just it's like most, highest weight. Sometimes they do lightest. I mean, one year this guy came in. He had like 3 or 4 squirrels, and then he reached into his back pocket and he pulled out another one, completely flat. Somebody hit it on their way there, and he just scraped it up off the road, dude. He was like, "Yeah," he's like, I'm gonna enter this one in," and everybody was like, "What are you doing, dude?" He's like, That's obviously roadkill. Like, there's no way you can put that in." He goes, "Oh, it's a squirrel, though, right?" He goes, "All I have to do is bring in a squirrel," and I mean, he definitely took lightest because there wasn't really much of it.
That's
was kind
pretty
of a
funny
scam.
though.
Oh, it was messed up.
That's
pretty
funny for humor, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sucks for the guys trying to win money though, because you're not going to beat that guy.
No.
He's got a third of a squirrel.
I mean, how many people are really going for lightest though?
Everybody, man.
Are you serious?
If there's money involved.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you're really going for lightest, you just like when you get one, like a smaller one, you just blast it an extra time with the shotgun at close range. You knock most of it off.
Exactly.
If you're really going for smallest,
I mean, I think it's weird because they do it with almost all.
Still there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Yeah, you cut out for a sec.
My bad. I let the screen
Let her go dark.
Yeah. What was I saying? I can't even remember.
We
were talking about smallest.
Small game. But yeah, anyway, so they have the contest and everything, and my dad usually wins them. I won't lie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Dead-Eye
Nice.
Dan. The man doesn't
Sweet.
miss. But he's got a semi-auto 16 gauge he takes out with him, and it don't matter how close it is, how far it is. If he definitely hit it on the first shot, always double taps. Every time you hear that gun off, it's boom, boom. Yeah, and for everything. It don't matter what he's hunting. 2 and almost always gets them. Stressful.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a beast. I don't know how he does it.
He's just out for fun.
Yeah. He likes winning that money, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
Well, you got some spots up there you thought would be good for bird hunting too, right?
Yeah, there's some spots up in Bleecker we can go where it's mainly the pines. If we can get up deep into the pines, should be pretty golden for grouse. But there's not a lot up there, at least that I haven't seen them over the last couple of years, just because they were so overhunted in the last, I would say in the last 10 years. People were just smoking them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And now they're a little fewer and far between, but definitely still up in the pines. I see a couple each year when we're snowshoe hunting and everything.
Yeah.
This year's the first year for duck. They doubled the mallard bag limit this year. I guess they finally feel that they've.
Is that statewide or is it just for the Western?
No, it's statewide.
Nice.
I was pretty shocked that they did that, but it was super nice to hear that they've opened that back up to give us a little more little more
Yeah,
chance.
I'm kind of surprised because I know there was a lot of concern with the avian flu, like doing some damage to the bird populations, but must be they've got enough data to show that it didn't inversely or adversely, I should say, affect the population. That's good.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked about it. I know it made me happy to see that double up, if you will.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that'll be
a lot
sweet.
more birds.
So what's the bag limit? Because I haven't hunted duck in quite
What
a
is
few
it?
years.
Let me look it up here. I got it on my phone. I don't have it directly handy. I know for a fact though, with mallards, it's 4 a day with up to 2 hens, which is it used to be just 2 mallards, which was within reason. It was pretty easy to hit.
Right.
Let's see here.
One of you's
Serbia,
picking up a lot of wind
yeah,
on your microphone.
Serbia's going through a wind tunnel.
Yeah, it is probably me actually. On the stoop. I'll try the basement. I'll try my my homemade catacombs.
Yeah, you got a little
See how that
self-made
works.
one.
The daily limit of 6 ducks includes all mergansers and sea ducks, and may include no more than 2 harlequin ducks. Well, now see, I gotta check this again, make sure this is accurate, because now it says no more than 2 mallards, one which may be a hen, 3 wood ducks, 2 black ducks, 1 pintail, 1 scaup. 2 scaups are allowed during the 20-day specified season, 2 redheads, 2 canvasbacks, or 4 sea ducks. And then there's a whole bunch of just diver ducks, which are rarer to see. The daily limit being no more than 6 ducks total.
Just that last part.
What's that?
6.
Let's say that last part one more time.
No more than 6 total ducks. You can't take. So if you get a bag of 6 during the day, you're done. Like that's it for the day. So you can only harvest.
That 6 would have to be a combination of different species.
Yeah. So if you shot 2 mallards, 2 black ducks, and 2 wood ducks, your day is done. There's nothing else you can shoot until the next day. Or geese, because Woody has the secret way of talking goose.
Fair enough.
I practiced quietly a couple times, and I let a few fly, and some from miles off think it sounds legit, and then I just got to shut up because if they get close and hear me, they'll know I'm a fraud.
It's like calling in turkey with a diaphragm call.
Yeah, I was shock gobbling them.
Yeah, basically.
Just getting them at
I leaned over to him and Adam, like, do you know you can locate call Canadian geese? And I just let out a couple honks, and sure enough, like just a few seconds later, we hear some honking, and then a few minutes later, they just plopped on the water. They were like way out of range, but they just plopped on the pond we were on, and they were like, "How the fuck?"
Yeah, you asshole! How did you do that?
I'm not good, but I'm lucky.
It was that majestic call, man.
Yeah.
Fucking worked, man. I'll tell you.
I can get lucky on goose calls and wood duck calls, and then Sean gets really, really concerned if I even put my hand on the duck call.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
On like the mallard call.
I don't mind the mallard because we've already proven that you can shake that one call and fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah. My little chuckle. It's a very phallic looking accordion thing that you just shake around and it makes a duck like a chuckle call.
Kind of like the turkey gobblers.
Yeah.
It's like
very similar.
You're standing there after you peed and you got to give it a little shake, just get that last drop off.
Yeah.
It's that, but repeated.
Fantastic. I repeated anyway. More than 2 shakes. Worst rule.
Oh yeah, it's the you're playing with it rule for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shit, you only shake it twice though, dude. You got piss in your pants.
Thing works fucking great though, man. At first I gave him a lot of shit for buying it and using it, And then I realized that meant I didn't have to have a duck call in my mouth right up and until the second I was going to pull the trigger. And I was like, huh, that's kind of nice. What do you
Well,
keep
it
doing?
adds another layer when you're calling, because I'm not good at the mouth call. So I can at least add another layer to make it sound like, what it should sound like is a group of ducks on the water.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
works.
nice to add that little layer. But it's I have it here screwing around. It's a Easy Chuckle Duck Call by Quaker Boy.
Quaker
So
Boy.
there's probably 500 of them on the water, out in the swamps, because it's over the counter little Quaker Boy, but it works. Something in the arsenal we have.
That's
Yeah,
something.
it was handy.
Hey, if it's tried and proven, can't beat it.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then what was that called? What was the variety of call there that Steve showed us, Woody? Do you happen to remember off the top of your head what that was called?
No, I don't.
That one that he pulled it out of the basement, and it's like a world renowned maker of calls, like a small time maker of calls. This guy had one in his basement in the box from like the 70s. This guy just was like, yeah, I didn't need it. Yanks this like collector's edition thing out of the box and starts ripping on it and just puts me to shame.
That was pretty awesome.
He called me, what did he call me? A dying chicken?
Dying
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what? This is a guy you guys go out with and
It's
Header's
Nicole's
relative.
it's Header's wife's uncle. It's Nicole's uncle.
Okay.
And we just so we went up there to duck hunt, right? And we were gonna crash at his place. And then Nicole's like, "Oh, my parents are doing like a 70s party or some
Halloween
shit." So she
thing. It was the
tosses.
weekend before Halloween.
No, it was still just like a 70s party though, because she threw us each like a tie-dyed shirt and said, "Come on, we're gonna go over there for a while." Like, all right. All right, fine. So we went over there and hung out. We happened to meet his uncle there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm big into duck hunting." I'm like, cool. And we made the connection, and he let us hunt his blind out on a point on one of the other waterways up there, and it was sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty.
He's got a hell of a spot.
It was almost cheating. It was so much. You walk 10 yards from your truck, and you're in the blind. It's a nice blind with a roof over top of it, out of the wind. The water's never more than 3.5 feet deep for hundreds of yards, and the ducks just come flying right at the blind.
We were the blind wasn't even in the water when we were there, and he said at most you ever have like 6 inches in the blind. So
Yeah, that ain't bad.
No, and Headers, of course, he was in full baby prep mode at that time, so he wasn't willing to spend money. This man got a full double curl tail Mallard, Drake Mallard, and he hemmed and hawed. Whereas I shot the one wood duck I shot this year, and I was like, instantly I recovered it. I'm like, yep, that's getting mounted. Yep, that's getting mounted.
I would have. That was really pretty. You didn't damage the heck out of it either.
Yeah.
Is the mount finished at this point?
No.
It's
Still waiting. So the heads were back ordered all the way until June. So he just got the head, like the styrofoam head for the mount.
Oh, you heard from him now?
Yeah, I talked to him again. He got him in, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, I don't mean to sound like I'm making excuses. He's like, "But I'm also a farmer, and like we're planting and mowing hay." He's like, "I'll call you when I skin it, and it'll be about 4 weeks after it's skinned before I've got it done." And I'm like, all right, like, I really, at this point, I do not care how long it takes. I don't care what it costs.
Yeah, and if he's not like ghosting you, like that's the problem with some taxidermy folk is, they'll take the business, they'll put it in their freezer, they'll take the down payment, and then they'll ghost you until they've decided they need the money for the mount.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of, and for every dickhead, there's, at least 2 guys that are good, honest folk, but you hate running into the one that's that way,
Yeah.
I was fortunate. Dad and I used the same guy. The only mounts we got, I got that buck when I was like 13 that I got mounted, and Dad got that one 6-point. Those are the only two we ever had mounted.
He was quick about it and everything.
I think he was about 6 months getting her done, which is not that bad as far as whitetail mounts, I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say when my dad got his done, it took like it was like a year and a half, 2 years until he could go back and get it. That's the one he shot up in Ohio.
Yeah.
Scored like a 154.
Yeah.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
nice
dude.
buck.
It was a tank, man. It was probably one of the biggest deer I've seen shot, like in person.
Yeah.
It.
I never scored mine. I've been curious before. One of these days, I'll just grab like one of Steph's fabric tapes.
Yeah.
Put a rough score to it.
Yeah.
Well, they do weird stuff like that takes the takes your points down. Like my dad's buck was supposed to go in Boone and Crockett.
Yeah, but they deducted all the trash.
Yeah, they deducted.
Yeah. The symmetry.
It had one. It had like one extra tine, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it favors symmetry, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you actually
so if
lose
it's-
points if it's not a perfect mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it like
which
sucks.
mine's pretty good, symmetry wise.
You're the one you got mounted.
Yeah.
Dude, I like non-typicals better though.
Do you?
I don't care about.
I like typical.
I want something to look nuts. I want to shoot a buck with like the rack you've ever seen.
Serby, you'd love to see the one.
palmations.
My dad shot one that had 3 main beams last year.
Oh, that's sweet.
Had 2 main beams on one side, and it was just.
Oh yeah, you should send him a picture of that. That one's pretty funky looking.
Yeah. Here, I'll throw that back in the group chat for joining this call.
I'll see. The next time I go to my dad's, I'll see if he has the picture of. He shot this doe about 3 or 4 years ago now, and it was a unicorn. Right in the middle of its head, it had this little beat up horn, like right in the center.
Nice.
Oh, dude, it was the wildest thing I've ever seen. It was ugly though. I mean, like an ugly, old, dick.
Dude, I'll fucking never forget. It was the same year I got that buck. So I just threw a picture of it, of me and Dad in the bed of the truck as like a cover photo on my personal page.
Yep.
And after we got it in the truck there, we were gonna go take it to get mounted, and we stopped down on the old Bell Farm to show my cousins and my uncle because they were down there hunting.
Yep.
And I stopped, and my uncle was down getting warm or getting coffee or whatever down at the campers, and he's admiring it. But we see everybody else on the like up on the hill and like a little bit on the radio, and they're trying to like there's this massive swamp buck that they were trying to get, and one of them had kicked it. They were trying to set up to put a drive on to kick it back out of where they thought it went.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched this thing. It was every bit as big as my buck, if not bigger. We watched it tear across like a 30-acre field.
Yeah.
And then like dump back into this swamp he was known to hang out in. And a couple of those guys went driving in there, like deer drive, walking in. And we hear a shot, and we hear somebody go, "Woo!" And like 5 minutes later, we hear, "What the fuck is that?" They'd kicked a different deer up, and they just saw it and shot the fucker. And it was all fucked up. It had one horn going up like a spike. It might have had a Y, I don't remember for sure, but the other side was totally bent down, like it was going through its freaking skull and growing out behind its ear with a big knob, like a little club on the end of it. They were all excited because they thought they got that big bastard, and then they shot that thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I think it dropped. I heard the beepy noise.
Yeah, Serby jumped off
Dustin.
again or fell off again. I bet you he opened that photo and probably it kicked him out.
That's silly. I can jump in and out of this thing. It'll just go up in my thing.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah, I got booted again.
Did you open that? I made the joke. I was like, I bet you he opened that photo.
Just making your phone mad.
Dude, stressful. I don't know if it's the service or the internet connection.
Hey, don't be putting any extra stress on yourself.
Man,
Oh, yeah,
easy now.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I've been
till you
taking it really
unbreak
easy.
yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it's getting better. I'm having like fewer episodes and everything, which is nice.
That's good.
But
I think about you a lot. Worry about your ass.
yeah.
Life will be boring without you. You know
I
that.
know, that's what I'm saying. Oh, dude, I feel like such a bum, man. Like I don't like being on disability. I don't like not being at work. Like,
Yeah.
sitting around was cool for a couple weeks, but like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm at over a month, I think now, and it's
Yeah.
it starts to get boring, get stir crazy.
Yeah.
But I've
I
been
know
doing a
the
lot
feeling.
more fishing.
That's
More
good.
Yeah, that's low
Yeah.
stress, right?
That's some
Yeah.
silver lining there. Yeah, that's good for your heart.
Dude, getting a
Get out
tan, sitting out
fishing.
in the sun. Like, oh, and it's been pretty good too. I found this little pond over in Gloversville, Wolford's. It's like this spot like families go. They have fishing derbies and everything. And
Yeah.
I just went down with
They
some
let a
lads.
degenerate like you in there?
Oh yeah, you should see the degenerates down there, man. I'm a saint compared to the people down there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
I was worried you'd
Rough.
feel out of place.
Oh no, I felt senile for the first time, if anything.
Yeah.
Sitting there just like, fuck these kids, dude. Oh my god.
No, you're old. Welcome
Send
to
them-
being old.
Yeah. I don't know what they're talking about, dude. They're just acting wild, breaking stuff. You're like, all right, fair enough. Well, I can't get too mad at them because that was me, I suppose, when I was younger.
Right.
But then you're like, man, I sucked when I was younger, dude. I was so annoying.
And now that's you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I get it now. I get why adults didn't really care for us that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
That's
fishing down there, I mean, minus the people, dude, the fishing was good. I was catching brook trout like crazy. They had all kinds of different fish in there. There was like, I think they had, it was black crappie, brook trout, huge largemouth bass for just no reason. They must have been stockies. They're just, oh yeah. They've been feeding off the bluegill population and stuff in there, so they're enormous. Like, you don't catch a lot of them, but if you catch one, it's going to be at minimum like 3 pounds.
That's
They're
something.
big fish.
That's that's why
Dude,
so
I have
big?
I have not gotten out at all this year fishing. I'm feeling bad about it. Gonna just rip myself away 4th of July weekend and go fish that down the road.
I've been out. Let's see. I've been out 3 times this year so far, and it's been all because now that TJ's back home, he's like, "Hey, you want to go fishing today? You want to go fishing today? Like, we're going this weekend." He called me up this. He called me up. He's like, "Hey, you do anything this weekend?" I'm like, "No, I got plans got canceled." He's like, "Want to go fishing this weekend?" Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Nice.
So we're gonna go up to Redfield and go on Salmon Reservoir.
Nice. Now I did get kayaking. That was good. Got the girls out. It was Roey's first time out on a kayak, first time in a life jacket, and it was first time since Harper's been like really walking and talking that I got her out. So
Really,
that was
yeah, really
nice.
paying attention, looking around.
Yeah. Well, she was like singing her version of row, row, row your boat, and when she'd see the kayaks in the backyard, when we go out in the backyard to play,
Mm.
so I kind of got to be in my bonnet to like get the tandem out, get it cleaned up, and one Friday after work, I just told Steph, and like, have them ready. Let's do it. As soon as I sign off of here, we're throwing the boat in the bed of the truck and driving up. And there's that little road just up from us. It's like that dead end kind of pull off area across from where you turn up for Mom's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
go
just,
down to the left there.
yeah, I just drove back in there and parked it. And, you know, it was a lot of work. The river was pretty low, and, you know, we're well under full weight capacity, but we're well over what I'm used to paddling with in the boat with no help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Steph and I and the two kids. It's a tandem kayak, so there's plenty of, you know, Harper and Steph and me and Ro don't max out that 500-pound weight cap,
Yeah, there's definitely
but it's definitely
added
sitting low enough in the
buoyancy.
water. Yeah. So and Steph's holding Rowie, so she can't paddle and she can't really get up and down constantly when we hit the shallow spots. So thankfully, like, Harper was so good. She was just really good. She was really engaged. She was looking at the water. I gave her my polarized glasses, and that was like magic. She's like pushing them to her face. They're way too big for her. She's just pushing them up to her face, looking into the water. And like, fishy, fishy. And sometimes she was seeing fish, and other times she was just seeing like a ripple in the water. But I wasn't gonna tell her any different. She's having a hell of a time. So that
Yeah,
was
let
cool.
her.
We saw some deer. We saw we saw one eagle and some Canadian geese with their chicks. So she got a little injection of nature in there. That was awesome. She enjoyed like pretty much every minute of it, I think. So
Just say she's probably stoked to enjoy that.
yeah, and it went well. So I'm willing to try like bigger water further from home now. Like, that was kind of a test run where worst case scenario I can walk. I can like,
Get out and drag the boat home.
yeah. So that was sweet.
Yeah,
That was
that
good getting
sounds
them
like a
out.
fun little outing adventure.
Yeah, that was really good. And then this past weekend I got to building fence.
Where are you building now? Are you building on the pavilion side or are you
Well,
up on the other?
basically as soon as you guys left from alumni weekend,
Mm-hmm.
the Amish folk that Mom contracts, like
Mm-hmm.
that come and do contract work for her, came in to pour concrete slab in the pavilion. So that's all torn up, ready. You know, it's like mostly prepped for concrete.
Yeah,
The
molded
covered
and
bridge is halfway, like the uprights and the cross members are up.
ooh.
And then the that shed, like that addition to the loafing shed,
Mm-hmm. They got the
is
posts in.
it's framed and ready for tin.
Ooh.
So that got me in gear to where I needed to adjust the fencing so that they can't just go in there into the loafing shed.
Mm-hmm.
And I started pulling posts and screwing around and laying things out, and then my uncle came down and dropped off the post puller, which was a little bit late, but I'd rather have it back because I'm sure I'm not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he got talking with me, and we got talking about what would be better for wintering the horses. And we kind of decided it would be better to keep them down on that flat. It's less traveling around with brown bales in the winter because they'll be right next door to the food source.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be on the flat, so they won't be on that steep hillside next to the barn, because that's always been a little bit of a concern of them slipping and tearing something.
Yes. Slamming down that hill.
Yeah, but I'll lose one bay of that.
Shed.
Well, it's a trade-off. I'll lose a bay of that shed, but I'll gain that whole tractor bay at the regular barn, so that's nice.
Yeah, you mean you might not be able to start implements, but you could get all the tractors and any maintenance done, which then you could use your winters for maintenance if you had the time.
Yeah, I can keep. I mean, we crammed both tractors in there this past year, but I could cram both tractors and the skid steer in that end if I wanted to. You know, or lawnmowers or whatever. So
Mhm.
what I ended up doing is going off from that addition in the loafing shed across the creek and up the hill. And then like I brush hogged a bunch of that patch of just scrub brush near where we had quit covering the old water line, or the new
Mhm.
water line, I should say. Um, so I come up there and then I follow the edge of that trail back over to the one that goes perpendicular to the road.
Gotcha.
And right now I left it wide open from like halfway between the creek and the barn, the loafing shed. And I
Mhm.
left it open for that whole big opening where you drive up through towards the spring. So it's like I just did that huge L of fence.
Mhm.
But that's going to be really nice because I'll just enclose those two. Like I'll put a gate or I'll fix it so it's removable fence,
And
and
then
we'll
you
have a nice little wintering area. And I'll add another gate above where that tee's in. So all I have to do is coax them down there, close the gates, and then open the other gates up above, and I'm all set for winter. You know,
mhm.
all
Cuts
of my
down your time.
access. Yeah, all my access is fine for hunting because I'll be able to travel through all that stuff no problem. And they'll be down out of the danger zone. Not that I think anybody that hunts our property is going to mistake a deer for a horse or vice versa.
Safe than sorry though is still the
But
primary.
yeah, keeping them down away from stray bullets is still a best practice scenario. But yeah, that'll be nice.
It sounds handy. One thing I thought of, this is because of random tangent, but I thought of, we need to make sure that we get your shotgun back out to the range at some point and really make sure that your red dots set and centered on your pattern. I still think we're probably a little off on your pattern.
Well, I think we need a different choke.
Well, I think that'll help, but I still think your red dot, when I put that full choke in for you for turkey season and
Hmm.
chase that porcupine up the hill, I think that for sure there's some finer adjustment required.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think,
we'll get to it before duck season.
yeah, I think that might not be a bad play, and I'm pretty set. I think that I'm going to jump on it a couple different chokes. So I might still decide to buy a pack of like two different options, and then
Yeah,
maybe I'll let you have a chance to try before you buy.
I like that. No sense in us both just throwing money at chokes.
Yeah, and I think I know what I want, and I think I know what I'm gonna like. But
Yeah,
it does come in two different variants. One they call like a medium range, and one's like an extreme range.
gotcha.
And I think that there's some benefit to the extreme range one, but I also think that, if we were gonna hunt swamp, that probably the medium wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah,
I just think for the open water hunting, I think we really do need that additional oomph of the way heavier choke set.
yeah. Yeah, that pattern was just so spread out.
Yeah, and it's gonna be,
Like
which isn't.
I'm not worried about the range. I'm just more worried about how spread out it was. You fit a duck in holes in that pattern.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm sure that's part of what's mucking with you.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it because I felt really quite good about some of those shots.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell? I almost hit it with my wad.
yeah, I felt the same way, and we have the
It's like,
exact
but
same
it was
choke right
like
now.
the wad was still on trajectory. It hadn't like they were close shots. But yeah, we'll get that tuned in for this year. That'll just be one more thing that makes us a little more deadly.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll make the world of difference. Which
Yeah.
I think we stand a decent chance on that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this season again, probably as much, if not more, than last season. Especially if TJ decides that he's going to turn this. He's kind of got a hot idea that he's going to turn this little boat that comes with his property into a John boat up near us, and then I might be tempted to try across the
There you
river
go.
from me.
We can always talk him into dragging it down here for a weekend. We do a little fabrication work haul.
Good old chance of fabricobbling.
We're getting good at it.
How far off the list is working on yours still? Is it still far enough down the list that we shouldn't even bother worrying yet?
It would be nice to pick a weekend to at least spec out what we need for the. Yeah, screw around with getting that console actually coated and set in place,
Yeah, before it gets too
and
yucky.
start. We start playing with wiring, and then we need to measure out what we need for a new cable.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Which
at
still
that
half
point,
inclined.
we could order it and we'd be back. Assembling the cable would be all we were lacking from being running again.
Mhm.
Obviously, the solenoid is
Ongoing.
is touchy, but if we get the rest of that going, then we're better off than we are now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, at some point too, it wouldn't hurt to see if I constantly, anytime we have this conversation, I start trolling Facebook Marketplace, just looking to see what's out there. 'Cause I think you could probably get away with a much smaller than a 90 horse and be much gentler on the back of your boat. Even if we
dare
bought
you.
another John boat and then tore them, played Franken motors.
It's not that bad of an idea.
I mean, I did just finally finish a project, so I mean, it's not the end of my
Yeah.
life cycle here, but
Yeah.
not trying to sign you up for more projects either.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm right now in the mental space of seeing what we'll go offline on this part, but the shop, the old wood shop, might have some ongoing issues that need addressed. So seeing his Cerberus falling off, and I don't think he's coming back, we could probably cut this one. We'll just leave it a little shorter.
Yeah, I think we have enough in there that makes it a fun topic. So
yeah. Well, I gotta use the bathroom and see what Harper's screaming about, but I'll give you a ring back in a few minutes. I can tell you what's going on with the shop.
all right, that sounds good.
All
right,
right,
dude. Well, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, talk to you in a little bit. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. You can also keep up to date by following us on our social media at Fraternal Outdoors on all platforms. And we love to see what you're doing in the outdoors as well, so please use the hashtag Fraternal Outdoors on your content so we can follow along. All the best in your outdoor pursuits, and catch you next time.